Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the last type of quiz that you can select for students to complete. So the last type of quiz is the teacher-paced option. Now this gives you the control, okay? So you send one question at a time and you can see the responses as they happen. You can skip questions and you can come back to them, okay? Now, if you disable names, you won't know who is responding. Okay, the randomize the answer order is the same as in the previous quizzes. It might be useful if students are sitting in close proximity to one another and you don't want them looking over each other's shoulders to provide, answers or see what their friends are answering. Okay, disabling student feedback is another way to prevent people from, cheating or knowing the answers by looking at someone else's device. Okay, so if you disable student feedback, the students aren't going to see any of that feedback when they answer a question. So that might be helpful to do as well. So we'll select those options and we'll get started with our quiz. So this is what the teacher view will look like. Okay, so it shows me question number 1. I could skip to the next question if I wanted to and come back to this later. Okay, I can see that no students have answered yet, and that's because our students haven't joined. So if I click on the student view, student will type in their name and the student will answer the question and then they'll click submit the answer. You can see that it tells them that you've completed the current activity and that you have to wait for the teacher. That's because the teacher hasn't gone on to the next question. Okay, so maybe you want to give a minute per question. Maybe there's a harder question that you want to give 4 minutes for. Okay, it's an easy question. You just want to do 10 seconds. It's up to you, however you want to control the pace of the test. Okay, as a teacher, I can select and see how do we do. You can see that the student who answered incorrectly. Okay, the one student, the correct answer was D. So as the teacher, you go on to the next question. Okay, and now the student has the next question, so student can submit their answer and they get that same screen telling them to wait. As a teacher, I can select how we did, and then I can select the explanation. However, this question has no explanation. So let's go on to the next question. Again, the student can see the question. They can submit their answer. Now, as a teacher, we can again see how we did and then select the explanation, which this also does not have an explanation for. Okay, this question does have an explanation, so I'll show you how that works. Okay, so I can say how we did, and then the explanation will just show up in the teacher view. So it does not show up in the student view. Okay, the teacher will have to go to the next question. Student can answer it. And then the teacher will select finish. And you have those same options to get the reports, to view the chart, or just to go to the dashboard. So since we're finished, we'll just go back to the dashboard.